Hi all and welcome back. Today we're talking about Moonlighter, and as you know, I hate filler, so let me be clear from the start. Yes, I do think this is a must-play, but you can also clearly feel it's still in early access, and not because of missing content. There's more than enough here. I'll explain why the game works so well first, and then why it still needs time. Very quickly, here's what the game actually is. It's a roguelite where each run gives you relics that you bring back and sell in your own shop. The money you earn upgrades you and your store. If you die before returning, the relics lose part of their value, which adds a simple risk-reward layer. Relics also have effects that turn your inventory into a puzzle. Some burn and destroy whatever they point at, others gain value every time something gets destroyed. So the inventory becomes its own little game. Now, why I think this is a must-play. Selling relics gives you a real sense of control over your progression. You're constantly choosing. Push into the next room to get that purple relic that pays for your next upgrade, or cut your losses and return. That level of control is rare in roguelites. And because you know exactly what comes next, those choices feel meaningful. A buff to push further, or a relic for more money back home. You make this decision over and over, and it stays interesting. And the inventory system pushes that feeling even further, because it strengthens that feeling of control even more. Combat also feels very good. You have a gun, a short-range weapon, and the bag that lets you launch enemies once they reach a certain state. Everything feels smooth, but deliberate. Enemies telegraph their attacks clearly, and you always have enough time to react. When everything connects, combat hits a really satisfying flow state.
And mid-run progression makes you noticeably stronger in ways that actually change how you play. I also think the bosses are smarter than people give them credit for. Some players say they're uninspiring, but I actually love that the game teaches boss mechanics through normal enemies first. Then the boss combines all of them. It makes you feel like you actually have a chance, instead of dying to cheap surprises, and the game completely avoids that. Before I get into the balancing issues, I do want to mention one thing the game lost. The original Moonlighter had a certain charm. Walking into a dungeon right next to your town felt immersive, almost Zelda-like. That atmosphere tied directly into the shopkeeping. Moonlighter 2 leans more into being a pure roguelite, with shopkeeping wrapped around it. Not bad, just a different vibe. Now for the early access part. Shopkeeping is still satisfying, but not as deep as the original. You have perks and items that buff your store, but in the beginning, you can ignore most of that. Early on, most of what you do is place relics, find the right price, and reuse that price for similar items. After around 10 hours, it starts opening up a bit more, but before that, the extra systems just don't feel worth interacting with. The good news is that this is clearly a balancing issue, exactly what early access is meant to fix. Balancing beyond the store also feels off. Not in raw difficulty, but in how early and mid-game progress line up. It took me quite a while to beat the first boss, but the second boss went down in one run. It just feels strange. Common relics also become pointless almost immediately. You mostly use them for the puzzle instead of for value. The developers already tweaked this by giving earlier unlocks, which helps, but there's definitely more work needed. All that said, I still think this is absolutely a must-play. Everything strong about the game, the sense of control, the puzzle mechanics, the combat, the progression, it's all already working today.
The systems feel great, the combat is fun, and the developers are clearly improving the game with each update. Performance is better, balance changes are rolling out. I'm confident it will only get better. So, are you playing now or waiting for more patches? Let me know in the comments. That was it. If you like videos that don't waste your time, please consider liking and subscribing. Regardless, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.